Baseball and pop culture have always gone hand in hand. Rather it be movies, such as Major League,
Pitch.
in Bull Durham,
Fireball. Smoke ball.
cartoons,
Pitch.
My best pitch is a strike.
or even some of these old-timey
Sinking
interviews from the
fastball,
1980s
which you
of
grip like
pitchers
this,
explaining
so you
stuff.
get only two seams into it, and then if you turn your hand a little bit like this, it comes out. The wind pushes here.
Up. I'm going to stop you right there, Bill. Instead, here's Shohei Ohtani dicing people up with his nasty slider. I hope that's a little more enjoyable. While these old-timey means of displaying information about pitching are real and they're there, they don't apply nearly as much as one thing. This one thing that I'm referring to is the internet. The internet has given pitchers the ability to learn and improve like none before. For many years, pitchers like me had no means of improving their game, no means of improving their craft, other than folklore, other than, word of mouth. While folklore and word of mouth are great in concept and have been the ways we have done it for years, what makes all these modern pitchers so good, do you think? Do you think it's, increased biological capabilities? Nah, that can't be what it is. Maybe it's, people just becoming better. Maybe we've improved as a species. No. The internet is not a physical thing. The internet is a concept. What does Oxford Languages think about it? Oxford Languages defines the internet as a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected networks using standardized communication protocols. While the internet itself is a concept, the capabilities that are brought about by the use of the internet for sports such as baseball is profound. The capabilities that we enjoy and take for granted today were not a thing so much as 30 years ago for somebody like my father, who will be interviewed later. The capabilities the internet gives pitchers and baseball players like me, not even just pitching. This video is about pitching, can be about a lot of other sports, even in the same sport with hitting. But guys like me have the ability to get better, not just through other people, by the use of the internet. Before the internet, learning how to pitch was a very convoluted thing to go about. How could you go about this? I mean, you could ask your grandpa how to pitch, and, I could probably describe how that would go. Hey, Dad, I really want to learn how to throw this pitch. Can you tell me? Well, son, I used to spit on the ball, and then when I'd spit on the ball, it would make it move better. Dad, I'm not going to spit on the ball. What do you mean? No, son, trust me, it works. Or even worse, trying to ask anybody who's not in your generation about mechanical advice. I mean, top 5 things that have never worked. That's got to be up there. Hey, Dad, can I ask you something? Sure, son, what's up? Hey, so how do you, make your fastball go where you want it to? I just put my arm as high as possible and then hope. Listen, I mean, it's great and all. It's how it was done for years. I mean, being taught how to pitch through cues such as that may work for a few people, and it was how it was done for so long, but the reason that the trajectory of baseball has gone up so much is because of the ability to access information on the internet. Before the internet, all you had was your crotchety grandfather and dad to talk to about, how to throw well. So, for examples we're going to look at later, I mean, obviously, we've come a long way. The internet has given people the ability to have an unlimited database and many opinions on how things work. The way pitching works is that one person can't give the same advice to everybody. Advice does not transcend across different pitchers the way that, advice in other sports such as football is. Obviously in football, get low, hit the guy low, tackle well. I mean, obviously sink your hips. I mean, there's cues in football, sports like football, sports like basketball that kind of go hand in hand. It's not like anything that is too complicated, but baseball is such an articulate sport. It's such a sport that requires so much finesse and so much skill. And giving one guy a cue is not going to work for everybody. Giving your son the same cue that you used in 1982 is not going to help compared to, modern cues or cues that work better for your son's biomechanics. And that's what modern coaching with the internet allows for people to do. Pitchers nowadays have access to databases unknown to people like only 30 years ago. I mean, the ability to analyze pitch data, mechanical analysis, biometrics. Look, baseball in the past, guys did it their certain way, but the ability that everybody across the world now has the ability to access data that nobody would have been able to access, provides a real level playing field for everybody. And, it gives everybody a chance to learn from the pros. The pros can teach to the amateurs, and, the amateurs can rise to that level. So, moving on. The first case study we're going to be looking at is Tread Athletics. Tread Athletics is an online remote coaching platform that gives players the ability to learn from the pros. The first style of video you're going to see with Tread Athletics should be more their bullpen style videos where you see real good players throwing real hard fastballs and guys that were former pros giving them really solid advice. Another style of video you may see from Tread Athletics are breakdowns of professional pitchers, mechanics and biometrics that really help young guys like me that aspire to be great learn how to be great. Another kind of video you may see with Tread Athletics type of content are videos explaining drills, such as this one explaining the lasso drill. Drills that really help young guys like me, become better pitchers, learn how to throw harder, stuff like that. There are so many of these videos on their page. If you're a young guy and you want to get better, this is so where you should go.
Thumb down tends to be good.
I'll let one of the main guys from Tread Athletics explain, really what the purpose of Tread Athletics is, and it sums up.
So first, a little bit of overview about myself and Tread Athletics. So we work with athletes all the way from high school to the MLB. We do both online and in-person pitching development. And since 2017, we've had 27 athletes drafted. So our focus as a company, and we've worked with thousands of athletes now at this point, but our focus as a company is optimizing baseball development, specifically optimizing pitching development, and a big piece of that is breaking down mechanics, improving mechanics, strength training, nutrition, mobility, and everything that goes into optimally preparing pitchers for the field. So just a little bit of background before we get into the breakdown.
In summary, this kind of content really bridges that gap between pro and amateur. It allows people just with internet access to have the ability to learn from guys such as, the people that, run Tread Athletics. They give great advice to people like me that want to get better. And that sums up the effect that the internet has had on baseball. I'll see y'all in the next one.